Welcome back, everybody, to Cities 2, Bayside City. Today we'll be venturing into the world of the Metro, where we try to fix the underground situation of uncluttering, uncompressing, and allowing trains to travel a lot more smoother than they would normally. It'll be a bit of a process, but it involves a few mods as well. Mostly Road Builder and Anarchy. Those are the main two mods that I'll keep using or keep referring to when touching anything that involves underground metro or metro in general, because it's so versatile. So we're going to be using both of those mods to basically change our quad track scenario into a 6-track section. Since there will be so many underground metro trains that pass by in that corridor, it's a bit much for the system to handle it itself. So with that being said, enjoy. Welcome back to the city of Bay Ridge. Today we are working on the downtown area where every train converges. We're going to be focusing underground. So, in this position, we have a series of train lines that will meet at one point, and as you can see, it's actually already congested. So last week we worked on the functionality of the underground stations. We want to use that and take it to the extreme. So we're going to add 2 more tracks to this station. So it's going to be a 6-track station with having different or multiple express routes passing through the center. And 2 main local lines. One issue will be having to sort out which train will be fully local, which trains will be semi-express and fully express. So from this line coming up through the north side, we have 4 different trains on these 3 tracks, or I guess 2 in this case. Orange, blue, the airport line, which is like a lighter cloud blue, and a cyan. Passing through here, we have 3 lines, the green, red, and pink lines, as we can see through here. They will all diverge and merge into 1 track, which will make it a little bit tough to go through. But they all will meet at 1 spot. They do tend to go through easy, but at the same time, they do get really congested. At their ending spot, they come outside to turn around. I bring them out and pass through. That way they have their own little fair chance to, merge evenly when they reach their last stop. So, with taking that into accountability, let's begin. Let's go back to our trusty little yard over here, and let me show you what the tracks that I'm going to be using today. So, these are all one-directional tracks in both directions, so 3 going up, 3 going down, 6. This is our local station that we'll be using for that track, as well as one that has a divided space between. The reason I'm using this one specifically is mostly for tracks like this and this. I'll try to figure out something with this because the way that the game works is that it tries to glue everything together. So I want to try to split things apart to make this work. And lastly, a dual platform with 2 express tracks down the center, which I think I'll be using this one for the bus terminal station. I know it's kind of counterintuitive to have a station that doesn't really mesh well with interconnecting the city together, but this will be good for those chances where places will, or when people don't want to stop at the bus stop, So let's return back to the scene of the crime. As we're back here, step 1 would be to erase every connection point from the previous station and then allow it to join at the track spot. So that would be step 1. Maybe there's another step behind this. Maybe placing the station first would be a better idea, and then having them join afterwards at the same time. Well, we'll see how it turns out. So let's pause for a second and go through a little rundown of what I've done for a second. So disconnecting the edges, we have 3 points. I've pulled this one out so the track stays separated from the others. I need to figure out the situation for which line goes where, because as of right now, as it stands, this line has the express train on it. So I need to figure out a way for this train to cut across over here onto this side and meet onto the express track, as well as for this one to swap and go underneath and pass under, but that one will be rather simple, I feel. The tricky part will be this curve line at the top. This one holds both express and local, meaning that it has to diverge off the route, converge with the other local track, but also form 2 more tracks, which it's possible. It's very possible. Up here we have the connection. The express track goes right through the express local and local, the 2 locals, but these shouldn't really matter really of a big difference. This one's a rather simple task to do. However, I will converge these into a singular track like this up until this point here where I place this track, because we do have some minor glitching taking place here, which most likely will take place through this center track, which is, we'll see if it's resolvable. We'll see. It should be, but I'm hoping. But yes, I need for most of these tracks to at least follow some order to them so they flow through smoothly and seamlessly, because the last thing I want is for a train to get backed up behind a backup behind a backup, which shouldn't really happen since there's 6 tracks here now, but that's the idea. Also, this station length might be too small, so I might have to extend this out just a little bit further to see if it works, see if it pulls through, and then connect the rest of the lines together, which would be easier. This one will be the easiest one to accomplish. And lastly is reconstruct the station and platform entry, because as you can see, I lowered the station a bit deeper, so the path goes through the floor. It was kind of difficult with it being underneath, so it'll be easier for me to see naturally if it's above ground. So let's continue. Okay, so we return with most things completed here. We have all the routes, all the lines connect in the right spot from express to local. There are some places where it could be a little bit better. I should make another line come outward and merge on the outer track without having the trains to switch at this point. I want them to be always on their main line without switching routes, basically. So, and also I still have to expand this, but that should be fine for now. This one does kind of go a little bit out there just to go underneath this other track, but it's what's really needed to happen. I would also expand this station to a quad instead of tri station, just because there's 3 trains on this. Well, actually, there's 4 trains on this track, but one skips this one. So I'll have to work on that one later. Actually, I could do it now, actually, because the airport line skips this. So I could actually take the airport from here and skip everything and make it meet back either right before the station or right ahead of the station. Ahead will be a little bit difficult, but we could try that. We could try it. Yes, I'll be back again. So now that that's connected, what I've done here was just branch out the airport line, make it skip this station. The other portion passes underneath the platform and meet back at the junction spots. I couldn't really connect it to the other side of the station just because of the way that this underground portion works. It's very different, but over here, it's not really as flat as you would think. Let's see if I can show you what that looks like. So yes, it's not really as flat as you would think. Both sides kind of dip off to their own elevation, but as we go further in, it's very manageable. Very manageable. Let's go in through these little tunnels here. The slopes are what really matters when it comes to building all these tracks underground, like through here. Sure, the rail does kind of slightly dip, but it's manageable. I can get past that. If it dipped below, then I would have to rebuild this, but honestly, we're off to a good start with this. I don't really see anything out of the ordinary with what's happening here. Yet, I should say. You never know when something might happen. But let's continue. This pause button, oh gosh. Let's continue. Now we have to work onto the other portion of land. We attached the triple track section from here to this side, and again, that's why I left it a space. Just so it seems more, realistic. The train doesn't have to turn so hard just to get to the main line. The same thing can be said over here. Now, this side, the center tracks are the express. So I believe the only trains that will do this, that'll skip the stops, are the red and airport line. Well, maybe not the airport. Maybe just a red line. But we'll see. We'll see what happens further down. And lastly, we'll just have to upgrade this one to a 6-track local. And lastly, I might just keep this one as 4 tracks, just because it's hitting the last point to where the train has to get outside, because I can't really expand. So yes. With that being said, I will see you soon again. Okay, so now that this is all entirely connected, all you have to do now is replace the station entrance and their paths from that I showed you last week and how to place them. However, one of them I have to completely destroy, which let me just find out. I do. So this one, you could actually erase these. If you really look at it, you could use Better Bulldozer and select their little static object filter. And then remove this element that you see here. These are the station platform entrances. Get rid of that, and you can then restart everything. So you can begin to place them down again, or at least try to recenter them with the side platform we have here on both sides. Same thing with here. This one, again, it'll be a little tricky, but there are two sides and two middles on the outside. Since they're in the same direction, the doors opening on the left will be middle, the doors on the right will be the side. So lastly would be this one, except, hold up, there is a problem here. So as you can see, these are actually two nodes. I have to destroy this and recombine it. Otherwise, the trains will not stop here correctly. So I'll be right back. I'll go through a little base consensus of what to do here for this platform. So I already have the paths, the prior paths connected from before. I just have to assemble this by either elevating this because it is on a different elevation now, or on a different route, or a different plane, I should say. So one story up higher should allow this thing to overseed the entire platform than having this connect back down, if it was friendly enough to connect with me. There we go. And then from there, just have the series, the mini series of invisible paths to connect from it and go down to it. So starting from up, we're going down to 60 feet, and until, again, we see that little line appear, we are clear. So same here. Connect up, come down, again, connect up. Let's go backwards with this one. Up and down, up and down. And that's really it. That's really all. And we have to do that again for the other multitude of platforms. And before that, I almost forgot to place the little station tracks. So let's see if we can find a nice solid center point right around here. So one side. Oh, don't snap over there, bud. Don't snap over there. You shouldn't be over there. Come on, a little closer. There you go. One side. And one side. And these two will be middle. And just like that, we have a fully fledged platform. And we'll continue the same thing over here on this side. I've already placed these down. And now we see the path, so I'll skip ahead to where it's done. It seems that everything is now complete. I've lined up every track. The red line is the pure express train that stops here but skips everything until the last stop. The airport line is in the middle track, so it's kind of difficult to really show how this runs, but green and orange run on the outside, purple and pink, or blue and pink, run the inside, and the airport and red run in the middle tracks. I feel like I'm forgetting a color at the same time, but I'm not sure why. But, you know, it's fine. But I never showed the airport line itself. The airport line runs alongside the blue. It just kind of skips through everything by taking a tunnel underground and runs straight down to the airport by skipping everything. So this line, it is rather intensive, but the people should walk to it eventually. I see the simulation is running slow, but that's because I destroyed everything. So all these trains are gonna do their thing and reroute themselves. But this is mostly the layout. It's underneath a giant park, but underneath the park is a series of underground tracks in a very wide manner. But for the most part, I'd say this is good. They just got to reorganize themselves, but I'd say for the most part, this will work. So, with that being said, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. The next stream, well, the next video, I'll still figure out what it will be, but I'll continue to stream cities on the off time. With that being said, have a good day, everybody. I will see you guys next Sunday. Take care.